From Hollywood, it's Dream Time. Ladies and gentlemen, the makers of Dream Shampoo are pleased to present the fourth in a series of new programs starring Don Ameche,
Blanche, why don't you keep quiet and let me sleep?
Danny Thomas,
I'll get out of this phone booth tonight if it kills me.
and Frances Langford, who sings...
Blue sky smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see. Bluebirds singing a song, nothing but blue skies all day long. Never saw the sun shining so bright, never saw things going so right. Noticing the days hurrying by, when you're in love, oh my, how they fly. Blue days, all of them gone, nothing but blue skies all day long. Never saw the sun shining so bright, never saw things going so right. Noticing the days hurrying by, when you're in love, oh my, how they fly. Blue days, all of them gone, nothing but blue skies, no more gray skies, nothing but blue skies from now
Thank you, Frances. Now, here is your host for the evening, Don Ameche.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and good evening. Don't go away, Francis.
What's the matter, Don?
Oh, it's Danny Thomas in the telephone booth. I think we're in for a little unpleasantness tonight.
What happened, Don? Did he get his head caught in the dial?
Carmen, you're a scream.
Well, I don't know the guy. I never even saw him.
Oh, this is serious, Francis. There's a lawyer here, Mr. Gordon. He's from the telephone company, and he wants his phone booth back.
I once knew a fellow who worked for the phone company. He used to empty the coin boxes. His name was Rob Nichols. They used to tell the one about the streetcar conductors. Rob Nichols, get it? Well, I thought it was funny. What do you expect? I'm only a band leader.
Honey, why don't you take a couple of aspirin?
Francis, I want you to stay right with me when we go to see Danny, and perhaps you'll be able to soften the blow and sort of manage things.
Green leaves your hair so soft and yet so easy to manage.
Now, what's that for, Toby?
Well, I'm just running through my discourse on Dream, Don.
Well, please be good enough to run through it someplace else. I never saw such a disorganized
Mr. Ameche, I don't like to be boorish about this thing, but my time is limited. I'm trying a very important case in Superior Court tomorrow.
Forgive me, Mr. Gordon.
Briefs to prepare and all that, you know.
Mr. Gordon, this is Miss Langford. I'd like her
Miss
to...
Langford?
Mr. Gordon?
I thought the three of us would quietly...
Naturally. It isn't my intention to resort to violence, but I understand this Tompkins fellow...
Thomas. Danny Thomas.
Yes. I understand he's not only taken possession of the phone booth, but furnished it completely and rented the front window to a watchmaker.
Now, that's just gossip, Mr. Gordon. I'm sure we can...
That remains to be seen. My client's the telephone company.
Telephone company? How about getting me a phone for my new apartment, Jack?
I'm afraid you have the advantage of me, sir.
Carmen, he doesn't install telephones. He's their chief lawyer. This is Mr. Gordon from New York.
How do you do? I'm Dragon from North Hollywood.
Well, I'm a little weary myself. The trip wasn't exactly idyllic.
Huh?
Go away, go away. Mr. Gordon, I suggest that we repair to the telephone booth and see if we can repair Danny Thomas.
An excellent idea. Mr. Ameche, you're nothing if not forthright. Where's this booth?
Fourth to the right. Would you like me to carry your briefcase, Mr. Gordon?
Oh, thank you, Miss Langford. I can manage. Just let me find my folio. Papers, here it is. Yes. I want this dispossessed notice.
Dispossessed. Imagine a guy being evicted from a phone booth. Well, it just goes to... Wait, hold it a minute.
Oh, what's the trouble?
What's Reed doing in Danny's booth? I didn't even know they'd ever met. Shh. There's something strange going on between them. Listen.
Uh-huh. What'd you say his name was, Toby?
Gordon. Gordon is a lawyer, and they're going to evict you from this phone booth.
Is Ameche in on this, or Frances Langford?
Oh, I don't think so, Danny. Gee, that's why I'm so glad you've got Mike right.
Well, it's driving me nuts.
I know, but I can come here and bring you little bits of information, and nobody knows how you repay me.
Thanks for tipping me off, Toby. I suppose you want your reward now, huh?
Well, if it isn't asking too much, Danny.
Oh, no. Go ahead. Read your commercial to me.
Gee, thanks, Danny. Girls, here's a glamour secret. You obviously know what a difference in glamour just a Dreen shampoo can make. And listen, girls, this is straight to you. When it's important for you to look your glamorous best, make sure your hair is radiantly clean, lovely to look at, thrilling to touch. And you can bring out all the romantic beauty of your hair by using Dreen shampoo with hair conditioning action. You see, Dreen shampoo brings out all the loveliness of any girl's hair. Now, that's because Dreen is not a soap shampoo, so never leaves a dulling film on hair as all soaps do. Dreen dramatizes all the soft, thrilling texture of your hair, reveals all its hidden beauty, as much as 33% more luster than any soap shampoo. And Dreen does not dry out hair. Instead, its fragrant, freshening, whipped cream leather leaves hair soft and smooth and oh, so beautifully behaved. So, girls, for lovely, lustrous hair, use Dreen shampoo with hair conditioning action. Use it at home or ask for it in your beauty shop. Buy it at all drug department and 10-cent stores. Remember, no other shampoo leaves your hair more lustrous, yet so easy to manage. Dreen, D-R-E-N-E. Gee, thanks a lot, Danny.
Beat it quick. Here comes Ameche and that lawyer. I better use the phone.
Danny.
1 minute, my good man. Hello? Yes, I see. Leaving for Cairo this evening, eh? Well, make it a point to call me as soon as you arrive. Yes, at this number. Well, it's all right. I'll wait here until you call. Goodbye.
Danny!
Oh, good evening, Miss Langford.
Danny, this gentleman wants to have a talk with
Make
you.
it brief, please. I'm expecting some very important calls.
Am I addressing Mr. Thomas?
You have that honor, Mr.
Gordon, sir. I'm an attorney.
Oh, Attorney Gordon. Delighted. Mr. Gordon, it's Miss Langford.
Miss Langford.
Mr. Gordon.
Mr. Ameche, Mr. Gordon.
Mr. Gordon.
Mr. Ameche.
Well, if you'll excuse me now, I have some business to attend to. You'll find the ice and the ginger ale over there.
Danny! What's the matter with you?
Oh, hello, Don.
Come on out and talk to Mr. Gordon, Danny.
Mr. Thomas, I represent the telephone company.
Oh, you do? Fine. Well, I want you to fix this mouthpiece. It keeps dropping on my nose every time I listen.
Danny!
Come on out and talk to Mr. Gordon.
Mr. Gordon is an attorney, and he wants you to get out of that booth.
Here's the bill of particulars.
Please, don't bother me with mundane affairs.
It's not mundane, it's sundane. And you better read that bill of particulars.
Come on out and talk to Mr. Gordon. Why can't I have another line?
Mr. Thomas, I am prepared to go to court with an action of ejectment in the event that you fail to comply with the demands made in our bill of particulars.
Let me see it. Know all men by these present. Greetings. To it. Discharged. Danny Thomas. Telephone booth. 3 weeks. Public nuisance. Serving a peace. Indirect trespass. What do you know? Mr. Gordon, this entire thing is irrelevant, incompetent, and infotistic.
What is that infotistic?
I don't know. I just put it in there to scare him. That's all.
My dear sir, you don't scare me in the least. In exactly 3 minutes, I shall call the police and have you forcibly ejected.
Come on out and talk to Mr. Gordon. Oh, this is getting monotonous.
Now, wait a minute, Mr. Gordon. You have no right to put me out of this phone booth.
Why, of course he has, Danny. You've been in it for 3 weeks, and it's supposed to be for public use.
Well, I'm the public. I put nickels in. That's like paying rent. As soon as the phone company accepts my money, they've established a landlord-tenant relationship.
Very good.
Oh, Danny, this won't get you anywhere. It's one thing to occupy a phone booth for more than a reasonable length of time, but it's another when you have it redecorated and take in boarders.
Boarders? That's a lie. Only one boarder.
Come on out and talk to... Oh, the devil with that. Goodbye.
And as for calling me a public nuisance, Mr. Gordon, have you forgotten the doctrine of volente non fit inuria?
That's an excellent offense, Mr. Thomas.
You bet it is.
Where'd you learn all that?
You do have a perfect right to occupy the booth as long as you do no injury, and continue to make regular payments for calls completed.
You tell him, boy.
As I said before, your defense is excellent.
Yes, sir.
Except for one minor flaw.
What's that?
The service on this telephone has been discontinued since December 3rd.
I've been stabbed.
Now will you come out of there, you faker?
Oh, please, Don, I'll do anything, but don't make me face that microphone.
Remember, Mr. Thomas, if you haven't vacated this phone booth by tomorrow morning, we'll have to secure a writ of mandamus, a writ of replevin, and a nolo contendere. Good day.
And I hope they throw you in jail for life.
How do you like that? Hopes they throw me in jail for life. Brings around his big shot lawyer friends. What's so tough about being a lawyer? All you need is a college education. I could have gone to college. Thought of going to high school. How could I? I didn't even graduate from grammar school. What's on your mind, he says to me. I should have said nothing and beat him to the punch. But he didn't say what's on your mind. How do you like that? For once in my life, I think I'm a brilliant answer, and he hasn't got the decency to ask me the question for it. Tries to impress me with his knowledge of Blackstone. I know who Blackstone is. He's a cigar. Oh, seriously, I know Blackstone backwards. I do. And not scalp. Big thing, law. I could be the greatest lawyer in the world. Sure, why not? It's a free country. I'm a citizen. Gee, I can just see me now. Famous all over the world, defending a case in England.
A breathless hush falls upon the courtroom in historic Old Bailey in London as Sir Daniel Thomas, KCB, addresses the bench in a final plea for his beautiful client.
My lord, counsel for the Crown has been most eloquent in his plea for the verdict of guilty. But I find it incumbent to remind the court of the mitigating circumstances. There you behold my client, beautiful, yes, polished, sedate, civilized. Her humble origin has already been recorded. Born in Mumpskeets Mews at Krampus under Burpsing, Neeps Erps Diddlem. Rose from a cinder wench to become mistress of the manor of Mockish Puddles and the wife of the Earl of Warbley. The evidence is clear that in a fit of temper she killed the Earl with a bed warmer and married another Earl. She traveled 500 miles to marry the second Earl, then liquidated him too. And 500 miles later, she took to spouse yet another Earl, always with the same tragic result. For 17 years, she adhered to this practice, not entirely without reason. I move for acquittal. Not only acquittal, but a life membership in the Automobile Club.
On what ground?
Obviously, for changing her Earl every 500 miles.
Case dismissed. Does the defendant wish to speak?
Come on out and talk to Mr. Gordon.
Back in America, all eyes were upon the famous attorney Chauncey Depew Thomas as he conversed in low tones with his poverty-stricken client, an Italian immigrant.
You swear to me that you're innocent of this crime? You swear you didn't steal an inner tube, 2 chickens, and a box of cigars?
I'm a swear, but I'm not going to pay you no money, Mr. Lawyer.
Well, give me what you can afford. What have you got?
I got an inner tube with 2 chickens and a box of cigars.
Good. If it please the court, in behalf of my client, Your Honor, I make this appeal to you. I'm not trying to say he's perfect, but his faults are very few. Hi, hi, hi.
Order! Order in the court! The defense will continue.
He once had a fight with his mother-in-law, so he threw her out, but not through the door. It just happens he lived on the 43rd floor. So for that, you call a man a criminal?
That's all right, Your Honor. I couldn't get a lower apartment. It's not my fault.
Shut up, your face.
Proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. Now, he asked for a raise and was met with a sneer. He happened to see that a penknife was near. So what's wrong with a boss who's got only one ear?
For that, you call a man a criminal?
That's all right, Your Honor. I tell him I'm sorry. I'll lose him.
Shut up, your face.
Proceed.
Yes, Your Honor.
Once a lady told him he was cruel and wild. She told him he wasn't well-bred. Oh, but he's such a softy, he wept like a child as he broke every bone in her head. Don't brand him a thief for one scheme that he hatched. It's only a cigarette lighter he snatched. It just happened it had a Buick attached.
Now you have heard my plea, Your Honor. But if you still think he's a sinner, won't you please hang him right away? I'm an hour late for dinner. We got beef and cabbage. Cabbage in your hands.
Order! The court finds the defendant guilty and sentences him to 20 years at hard labor.
You see, Butchikalupi, I told you I'd get you a job. And that's why I always say, what do you always say?
Well, sometimes I like to say...
Hey, shut up, you face. This is what I always say. Please don't call